national associations of fintechs across Africa. So we are a big family. So as I stand here, not only do I represent the fintechs that operate in Kenya, but as well the fintechs that operate across Africa. So if you think of all the big fintechs out of South Africa, Tanzania, Nigeria, Ghana, Morocco, and the rest, we're all a big family in Africa. So my conversation today is just to focus on what really we should be looking, how we should be looking at fintech as it were. And when I think about it, when we started this what we call the digital financial services journey many years ago, the early 2000s. Initially, we started with things like SMS banking. I'm not sure how many in this room will be familiar with that. And it was a very easy stream of SMS. You send an SMS to a code, gets back to you with your bank balance and all that, and quickly moved into USSD, which I'm all sure you're all familiar with. Then very quickly now we're into mobile apps and all that. We get into supports and all those things. But my point there is the fact that the fintech base started mostly with financial services. So looking at how you can innovate around processes in banking, in insurance, in circles and all that. So there was a lot of concentration on financial services. Until it got to a place where fintech was synonymous with financial services. But when you take a step back and ask yourself, what it really is fintech and how can we apply it on a day-to-day basis? And it's just a simple combination of two words, finance and technology. And if then that is true, then it means that finance happens in any sector. It happens in health, it happens in agriculture, it happens in education, it happens in retail, it happens in manufacturing. And also tech is applicable in all this. So when you look at it that way, then it then means that fintech sits at the center of all sectors of our economy. And therefore then the focus on fintech on financial services in banking, in insurance, in circles and all that, then becomes quite a very small aspect of what financial technology can really do. But then when we look at it as sort of sitting in the middle of all sectors and in creating efficiencies around what we do as a people, then you start seeing interesting things emerging. Like I've heard somebody talk about tech, heard about insurtech. I am an agri-tech myself by choice, having done a lot of financial services, payments, lending, and all that, then now moved into agri-tech. So all this, right now there's RegTech. I don't know if there are any lawyers in the house. There's RegTech, smart contracting and all those things. And therefore then, when you start looking at it that way, then you see there's an opportunity for us to leverage financial technology in all sectors of our economy. And then when you look at it, and I'm 100% sure being at the UN main campus, there are a lot of students of economics in this room. Are there? Anybody studying economics? Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's already here more than 20 years ago, and it's really helped me in terms of how I integrate technology and how I integrate creative solutions. And when we were here with the governor yesterday, we said, can we look at how not technology as the tech itself, but the challenges that we're trying to solve. And if it's the challenges that we are trying to solve for, then these challenges exist in very specific sectors. So if you go into healthcare, for example, what it is that we're trying to solve in the healthcare space, there are issues around fraud claims in insurance, you want to solve for that. The issues around health records management, you want to solve for that, because if they think about it, I was born and brought up in Europe, and so naturally I would go to the dispensary of the hospital that is closest to you. But as I grew up, I went to high school in Embu County, and then I came back to University of Nairobi, and then I've been traveling all over. So what does that mean if my records are seated in one place? Does it mean that if I go to a different location, the doctor that is attending to me cannot access the same records so that they can talk about the medical history and that will be able to treat me better? So this is what we're calling democratization of health records. How then can you apply solve some of these challenges? Yesterday somebody talked about self-checkout in retail supermarkets, for example. Can I scan a barcode and just check out as I move, so I don't need to speak to an individual? And I think the only bit they missed is just to mention that once the cart is full and I owe them, let's say 3,000 we ask ourselves today, everybody here as well, and first of all, like, why do you need to type all those numbers and digits? We need to pay for something, and we just detect intelligently and just get it off. Because of wallet. So this are the things, and the reason why, going back to the conversation about economics, and I believe you being students and most of you, and I'm really happy to see when I walk around, there are a lot of libraries around. I can see a lot of labs, computer labs, and all that. But my day next to that amphitheater next to the library used to be only one computer lab. It had 30 computers only, so we used to queue. So 30 students go in, spend 1 hour, get out. Then as guys go in, spend 1 hour, get out. And the computers didn't really have much. Only had MS Office. That's all we were doing. And then of course, doing a little bit of Google and all that. But I'm happy that right now, I mean, these resources are there, and therefore, if you do research, and for example, you go to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, but all this data about the contribution of different sectors into the economy. And they go further ahead to tell you about how the contribution of digital financial services is on each of these sectors. And when you look at that data, it still tells you we're still scratching the surface. As much as we've been successful in the first one, we're still scratching the surface. How can we leverage all this that we are learning today to make sure that we drive, for example, penetration of digital financial services in Africa from 1%. How can we grow insurance from 2.5 to 10%? So really for me, it's just to paint that picture of how fintech sits at the core of everything that we do, and not only for financial services, but across all sectors of the economy. So I'll stop there in the interest of time, but you can always reach me on my LinkedIn. I'm still Monjetega on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Twitter, everywhere. That's my real name. It's the same one you find it everywhere. Please reach out if you need to consult, talk, or just say hi. Thank you, guys.
Let's get a round of applause. So the next gentleman that I'm going to introduce is the Chief County Revenue Officer, Chief County Revenue Police Officer at Konza, which is Mr. Peter Mshesha. I hope I pronounced it correctly. Please give him a round of applause as he comes to the stage.